not disappoint Clive, because he needs that footage. All right. So first of all, want to share something with you guys. I had a call this morning and yeah, I bet like you guys have, seen metaverse spaces pop up left and right. And, everyone claims to have built the next best big thing. And then you look at what they have built and you're like, well, this is not really a build. This is like a template from within Unity. And it looks like we have a phrase in German that is like essentially saying it looks very averagey, like 0815, 0815. It means like super average, right? Like basic bitch style, essentially, right? So when Alexander from Choice, he introduced me to Vasco, to be fairly honest with you guys, I went on this call and I was like, oh, great. Now I have to look at the next big thing that actually no one has really built yet. And man, I was in for a huge surprise. So turns out he actually built the space. It does look really good. It's built in Unreal Engine, super high quality. It's highly optimized. So even like, I'm going to say, badass computers can run that shit, so that's always good, right? And yeah, it's well, my headphones charged. Yeah, no problem, Elan. And yeah, Vasco. I figured Vasco. So it is pretty awesome, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Still, multiplayer mode requires server space, and server space sadly doesn't come cheap, right? So I wanna try and figure out with him if we can do something for the ALANAmagazine launch party. If this is something that we maybe want to try and self-host, or like, I don't know yet. But I was so captivated by how well this is worked out and actually in existence, right? It's not just like someone claiming that they have built something and then you look at it and you're like, where's the freaking build, right? It is actually built. It comes with many applications inside. So he's really eager to do something with us. And I think it would probably be a very fruitful partnership that we could come up with. Mutually beneficial partnership, essentially, for the launch party. And then we need to see what else we can do together. But yeah, I like essentially try and show you, like, I downloaded the file, but I didn't have time to yet install it. So I'm just gonna show you what's like essentially what else he sent to me. So you guys can take a look. So if you want to check it out yourself, you can do that. So this is the file that he recommends to download. You can play it online. They have like this weekend an event in which they are going to test this part. Wait, let me actually copy paste this in notes here. Okay, and then let me. Sorry. What's happening? So anyway, this is the link. And since I have built myself in Unreal Engine, I know like Unreal Engine gives you amazing quality, but it is also the much more complicated game engine to work yourself around, right? So I was like very fascinated by all of this. So I think I have, so I can show you a little bit. So it has some like generic spaces. It's literally like a world that, comes with like different, I want to say, districts, right? And they have now a fashion district, which they are obviously trying to, bring to life. But they also have like these private spaces. And a lot of it comes with, already like ready to build interface ops mode, essentially. All of this works through a technology that's called pixel streaming. You can customize your avatar. So we could even think about supplying some like digital merch, right? So people can wear the digital ALANAmagazine merch for the launch party, which could be really cool. There is a train that leads from one space to another. So he suggested to me that we just build a fresh space. Which is also cool, but I don't think like OnClick Closet or I have the availability to actually commit to something like this right now. because we want to really launch Alana Boutique this year. So I suggest we would use like one of the pre-built spaces and essentially, put our like teaser videos on screen, put our like, obviously the magazine in the space, right, with the checkout link. I think that would be much more beneficial. And then we can live stream from the event side. So meaning everyone who really can join because maybe they don't have a desktop computer or they have weak ass internet, we can actually have a live stream. So people also from the outside can join that event, right? And last year we got a really good traction around this event, around this opening event. The space was full that we had with Pink Crypto Space. But it wasn't spatial. It came with a lot of limitations. I didn't like the quality. In the end, most of the work was on our end. So, there were like a lot of things that I did not particularly enjoy in this collaboration. And yeah, I just think this could be like us leveling up to a next level experience for the Alana Lounge party. And then we can see what else we can do from there with 3DD social. Thoughts? Anyone?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's awesome.
Okay.
Also,
like
yeah,
dealing
dealing
with
with
Pascal,
Pascal.
you guys
You guys
really
really
need
need
space,
space,
but
but
as the
as the
same
same
as the
as the
first
first
one
one
is
is
the
the
only one
one
that I
that
see,
I see,
the
the
relevance,
relevance,
like
like
when we
when we
have
have
the
the
launch party,
launch
when
party, when
you,
you,
as you
as you
mentioned,
mentioned,
when we
when
have
we
the
have the
launch
launch
party,
party,
that makes
that
sense
makes sense
because we'll
because
have
we'll have
something
something
to
to
offer.
offer.
And
And
my
my
question
question
about,
about,
that is the
that is the
same
same
one
one
as
that's
always,
always
like
like
the rest of the
the
time.
time.
We need
I
to
need to
put a
put
lot
a
of
lot of
effort
effort
to
to
draw
draw
attention to the
attention to the
place, to
place, to
draw
draw
attention
attention
to
to
people to
people to
go
go
there, to
there, to
maybe
maybe
have
have
a
a
conversion
conversion
rate
rate
there.
there
That,
that,
that's
that's
something that I
something that I
asked
asked
Basco
Basco
the
the
first time.
first time,
What's
what's
the
your
recurrent
recurrent
users, your
users, your
conversion
conversion
rate?
rate,
What's
what's
that?
that?
He
He
doesn't have
doesn't have
anything
anything
of
of
that.
that.
I
I
understand.
understand,
It's a
it's a
very
very
new
new
place,
place.
Yeah.
and
And this is,
as you
as you
mentioned,
mentioned,
Stella, this is the
this is
same
the
thing
same
that
thing that
you
you
run
run
into it
into it
every
every
time you
time
go
you
with
go
a
with a
new,
new,
very
very
cool
cool
3D
3D
display,
display,
a
a
virtual
virtual
place.
place.
It's
It's
very
very
cool.
cool.
It's
It's
very
very
nice, and
nice,
you
and
can
you can
have
have
very,
very,
easy,
easy,
to
to
create
create
there.
there.
But
But
there's no
there's no
views,
views,
there's no
there's no
engagement,
engagement,
there's no
there's no
nothing.
nothing.
You need
You
to
need to
make
make
all
all
that
that
work.
work.
We need
We
to
need to
bring
bring
all that
all that
attention to
attention to
him,
him,
to
to
Basco,
Basco,
that we
that we
can
can
draw
draw
that
that
attention to
attention to
Alana
Alana
instead of
instead of
doing it
doing it
to
to
them.
them.
It's not
It's
that
not that
I'm a
I'm a
bad guy
bad
and
guy
say,
and say,
hey, I don't
hey, I
want
don't
to
want to
help this
help
guy.
this guy.
He has
He
a
has a
pretty
pretty
good
good
space,
space,
but we
but
will
we will
have
have
all that
all that
work
work
on
on
ourselves.
ourselves.
Outside of
Outside
the
of the
launch
launch
party,
party,
for the
for the
launch
launch
party, I'm
party, I'm
good for
good
it.
for it.
I don't
I
have
don't have
any
any
problem with
problem with
that.
that.
I'm
I'm
okay.
okay.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
But
But
outside of
outside of
that,
that,
I don't
I
see
don't
the
see the
relevance
relevance
yet.
yet.
Instead,
Instead,
that
that
he
he
has a
has a
very
very
strong
strong
social
social
media
media
arm, or
arm,
he
or he
has
has
something that
something that
he's
he's
bringing
bringing
people
people
into
into
his
his
space.
space.
That
That
makes
makes
sense
sense
for us.
for us.
But
But
outside of
outside of
that,
that,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
it
it
makes a lot
makes a
of
lot
sense.
of sense.
Just
Just
it's
it's
extra
extra
work.
work.
Yeah.
I don't know what
So
you
What do you
guys
guys
think.
think?
Sure.
I think so I have honestly, I've never seen a space quite in that quality. That's like fully functional. And I've had probably calls with people like him, at least like more than 30 people like him, right? So I've been having calls like this for a long time with many people, and I've never seen that level of quality. So I was pretty amazed. The functionality is like, it's really good. It's solid developer work, right? It's not just someone who's playing an Unreal Engine and trying to put something together. The design, obviously, is debatable. I don't necessarily like a lot of the design, but that's something that we can customize, right? Because we actually do have knowledge about that. So that is that. I understand what you're saying, and I think you're right. Like for the launch party, I see the benefit. For everything else, it needs to be something that is directly accessible from our website, I think, to make sense. So rather than, having the entry point at I want to say, at his social hub, and this is why he's also working on now. Where is this? Where is this? The page that I showed you before, where I downloaded the files from. right? I think it's this one. So instead of like people having to go through this, he is testing now like direct in-browser streaming. So I would want to try and work with him on the idea of an iframe embed, which means the direct access to our metaverse space would be on our website, but it would go to his servers, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Sogan is like, I don't know if this makes sense. Shifting her glasses, thinking about it. Professional thinking by Sogan.
Hi everyone. Sorry for the delay that I joined. I'm not following. I don't know what are you showing actually.
Oh, so this is a metaverse space. It's a virtual world, right? And I was impressed by the demo that I saw. And I think it would be a great space to have our ALANAmagazine launch party at and live stream from there. That's essentially what I'm saying.
Okay, so instead of the what is the name of the other?
Oh, okay. No, we don't have anything else. Like last year we did this with Pink Crypto Babe, but I was not impressed by that collaboration at all. And like most of the work was on our end. What Vasco offers is essentially he does the developer work. So he will customize the space and all of that, right? So we don't have to do that. And
the quality is amazing.
I've never seen a quality like that. The frames, so games, same as streaming, they work in frames per second, right? FPS. And he optimized this space so incredibly well. Most of the time, you actually get like 50 FPS while screen sharing. I was like, what the? Sorry. So this is why I'm impressed, right? He doesn't have funds right now, so he cannot pay us, right? He does not, like, he can only offer his work, essentially. He can say like, okay, I customize your space for you. We do something with the launch party, right? Yeah, but Habo is right. He doesn't have his own audience. So the space is technically empty because he has spent time on developing this on the site, this entire world, which is insane, for the last 2 years with a colleague of his, between actually working on jobs. So it's not like there is a bunch of people or people would be able to discover us through there, right? That's not a thing. So there is a potential to collaborate with Vasco to host the ALANAmagazine launch party. Yeah, and I agree, Shelpen, almost GTA 5 quality. Why would he pay us? What is the exchange between Alana and Vasco? I think the exchange would be he does the developer work, provides the space, we provide the audience. I think that would be the handshake deal on this, right?
Why not to help him also have since the work is amazing, create us the space. I think it's more than enough. Why pay? I can see why he should pay us. It's a collaboration that we can do, like we do for them, they do for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if there are other options. What are our other options?
Other options are, of course, we do this ourselves, but it's going to be a lot of work and it would push the launch like very far into the future. If we wanted to rely on us, we can also make a space on spatial, of course. That's always an option. That would be
I meant spatial.
That would be the fast track route.
Yeah, but in the end, if we know it's spatial or we direct ourselves, in the end, we need to work on the launch and the publicity and bringing out it. So we are doing it. So it's win-win.
I think so too. Actually saves us some work because the advertisement we have to do anyways, right? Either way. But this saves us the work. Yeah, but this saves us the work of developing a space. And I think it would be good to have a virtual space for the launch party, even if not everyone can join. Right? Let's just say we limit the space even, right, to like maximum 20 people being able to join. But then we can still live stream the event, right? And the panels that we organize and stuff like this. So I think, I think it's probably a good idea to do this together.
And we're gonna have a lot of material to share it later on social or whatever we want from the launch party.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's a good idea.
Okay, so
it's really good.
Delia in favor, Sogan in favor, Chavo in favor for this event, but not necessarily for further. Any other opinions?
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to add a little bit. I also like a lot his work. I'm not saying that he's not doing a very good work, and I'm not saying that he's not pushing on social media. But he's obviously it's not well aimed because he's not pulling people in. So I'm down for it. For the launch party, of course, and I'm down for it as well. He will build our space, and he will optimize, and he will do all the work. I'm okay for that. I don't have a problem with that. But if we need to put our resources that we know are limited, that's what I'm not following. For that, he must pay us, of course. He must. If he wants us to take, our time to build in his space, the thing that's gonna be from him, he will pay us for that. Otherwise, we will handle in how do we want their space to be for a line for Alana branded, and he needs to build it, and he needs to be optimized, and he needs to be, giving feedback to all what's happening there. And when we drop the launch party, we will make all the work for us, because otherwise, on social media, we're doing the work for us, and links should revert to us. Not to him. That should come from him. We will handle everything to him, so he can put his own advertisement for us. But everything that's made from our side, from Alana, needs to lead to Alana. Everything. That's how I think.
Yeah, so on that note, as you can see right now on the screen, actually it plays. So he can embed whatever link we give him here. So let's just say, we want to put some of the artworks like for sale from artists, right? So they can actually also monetize through the space. Then, the links can be custom. So if we want this to go through the Alana website, or we want this to lead directly to their website, it's fine, right? That's all customizable. We just need to define what we want and need. So that's the good news. But I hear you, Harbo. Makes sense. Any other comments on this? Shelban in favor. Okay. I agree. If he can support us and make our lives easier by building a space for us, I think we could provide an audience for him. I don't see any losing. Yeah. Okay. Seems like we're aligned. That is very great to see and hear. Thank you. Okay. So the next big chunk on our list. Yes? So then?
No, sorry, I was reading also how in favor.
Power in favor. Okay, this is really cool. Okay, so the next big thing is we have some shit on our list and we need to get this done. Okay, and I need all your brains to work with me on this. And this concerns the content. So I already put on my list proofread Chalpin's and Isa Doska's article because that's still not done. And I know you guys are waiting for this, so I need to do this, right? Then I had another call with Rob from Illust AR. So I think I showed this to you. But this is essentially, it's the AR that we always needed, okay? So first of all, as you can see, it's blockchain enabled. So this means it can be monetized, right? And he's working on that, and probably an unlock protocol integration will be part of all of this. But essentially, damn it. Wait, let me see if I can find the right link for this, because this is the public link. I need the private link. Give me a sec. So this is Rob McCarty. I hope he sent me the link somewhere here. I hope he did. Yeah, this is Rob. Oh, yeah, here it is. this is the link I needed. Special links for special people, you know. So right now, this is not the, they are still like, how can I say? This is still a very, very fresh product. But just so you know, Rob used to be the head of development at Meta's Spark AR. And he was very, very angry when Meta just decided to close Spark AR after thousands and thousands of creators had created their AR filters on top of it. So he was like, because they were like trying to get him to stay and move to another department. And he was like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm done with you. So he moved away and he built his own company, which is Lust AR. And it's essentially AR tech that you can build to work in any browser. So you don't need a specific application. You don't need any of that. You just scan a QR code or whatever this is linked to, and you can actually, where is that? Can anyone share the link of content mention? Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you, Elad, for sharing. It's so good. So essentially, what I like about this, and I hope I can show you guys, create piece, is it's a pretty like easy to use interface. Okay, you can use like other applications like 8Wall, and you can do a shitload of stuff. You can do face tracking. You can obviously mint, right? So you can create one asset and do multiple things with it. And this is actually the old user interface. So I happen to know that the next release is out, I want to say 2 weeks from now. And this will contain so much more and will have such like a much better even like user interface. So I really want to feature them in the business and founder section. But I also want them to work with us on realizing some of the AR pieces. So, for example, like some of the accessories that we will show in the magazine and make them interactive, right? I don't think they will be ready for body tracking, but they will be ready for doing face tracking. That's already working essentially. And you can also geotag these things. So you know how we have 2 fashion editorials, right? Sorry, it's better to see you guys. So, we have 2 fashion editorials that are definitely a little bit about activism, right? That is Lauren's and that is mine. So I was thinking, instead of just showing fashion, maybe we can geolocate some of the pieces and put them, I want to say, into a graphic. Right? So imagine the fashion piece and the image of the fashion piece. And then it has like a graphic layout around it, right? Like a call to action or taking a stance on something specific. So not like highly political, that's not what I'm trying to say, but like actively engaging through AR, if that makes sense. Okay, you guys don't look like you get it. Probably because I'm having a really hard time explaining it. But let's just say activism without over politicizing it through like the fashion editorials that we have. So instead of just putting the image of the fashion editorial into a specific location, right? Let's just say the lawn of the White House. Okay, it's just a stupid idea, but one thing, right? Or the Gaza Strip, or wherever it makes sense to put something like that, to leave our like essentially ALANAmagazine's mark into the real world through AR and AR activism, right? So instead of just putting an image, we could design like a really beautiful graphic, maybe even 3D writing layout around the image. So it doesn't have to be the fashion piece to become like an AR piece. Oh man, I'm not explaining this the right way.
But do you have in mind some place specific that should trigger the AR to be activated?
No, not yet.
What do you mean?
I think it highly depends on what is being submitted.
Okay.
Right, and then working it also out with the person who submitted it. But like awesome. Like my brain is not working properly today. okay, let's take Lauren's fashion editorial series, right? It has like these like, gemstone colored, very powerful images as a reference. Wait, let me actually share my screen on this so we can dip into
I'm bringing it.
Are you in there right now?
Okay.
Fashion editorials. So I don't know how well you remember, but essentially this is like some of the imagery, right? So it's very much like heroic and like, just about, taking a stance, I guess. So it is activism, but it's non-political. And something like this would be great to have, because I never intended for Alana, so unless all of you outvote me on this one in a, official vote, like I never intended for Alana to be political, because I don't believe in politics, right? I don't believe we need politics to govern ourselves. I don't think that's no longer necessary. And I feel politics is what brought us a lot of pain in the first place in the last centuries and such, like for a long time, essentially. Now we have technology that can actually effectively help with all of this. And we can actually self-govern, right? But still we rely on politics. So I don't like political activism. I think it doesn't lead anywhere. It just leads to more division and people fighting against each other instead of seeing what unites them. Alana stands at that intersection where it's more about looking at the things that we actually came together for, right? What are the things that bind us together? What makes us believe in the same things? Or what are those things even that we believe in? So if you think about the Alana Manifesto, right? This is exactly it. The Alana Manifesto, the base membership NFT that I hope all of you minted at some point. It is about, here you go, in case you don't remember. It is about what brings us together, not, opinions that divide us. So if we're doing activism, and I see the potential in two strong, in those two like activism-y fashion editorials, I think we can do that. We can do that with AR. We can do that with geolocation in AR. But we have to find a new balanced way of doing it, which is non-political. Does that make sense?
They would activate the AR within the fashion editorial, and then it would take them to a certain place, is what you're saying?
No, so you can do two things. So we can link it to a QR code, right? Or even just to an image that tracks. So people just hover their camera over the image, and if it's being recognized, you BIA, right? But we can also link it more like obviously to a QR code. But at the same time, by adding a geolocation, it means that if people are in the real world, right, and they happen to be in a specific location, they can actually view it on location in the environment that we're intending it to be in, right? So you can do both things at the same time, which is pretty crazy cool, because that's something really hard to do with like other applications. Other applications usually only allow you to do one of those two things, not necessarily both.
Places people would have to be to view it.
Yeah, so for the geolocation to work, that can only work if they're in a specific place, right? But, we could do that, right? It's the thing. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen this in your cities, but there are artists who have sprayed essentially a QR code on the ground, right, on the tar. And we could do something similar, right? So if we have people in those locations, we can send them essentially, it's kind of like guerrilla activism in a way, right? We have to see how far we are willing to go. That's something like, I don't know yet, right? I'm just saying there are options. There are different options on how to do it. Paolo says he loves it. Okay, that's cool.
And the activist kind of themed fashion, like the fashion editorials you're talking about. I guess I'll look on the content, but what exactly are they being activists for?
So I think the first one from Lauren is about taking a stance, right? Just like getting out there and saying like that you don't agree with what's happening right now, right?
Right.
That's really what this is about. Like if I would have to frame it in one sentence, I think mine is about like essentially the activism for decentralized governance and for decentralized technology, right? Because again, that's not what I believe in. So I think depending on what are the submissions that we are getting, we can make that decision, right? I'm not saying we have to do that now. Overall, we can use that same technology also without activism and without geolocation. We can use that technology, for example, to bring some of, because Sogan's and Nastaran's fashion editorial also has a specific section to hand in accessories, for example, right? So this is something we can also say like, oh, everyone who hands in accessories, we bring their work actually into AR so people can try it on if they own the magazine, right? It's just essentially this technology is so much better than 010 app or Snapchat or any of this because it's not a closed technology, right? It is an open technology. It gives a lot of power into the creators' hands, and it allows them to also monetize their work, which I think is super important if we can provide that, right? So this is why I'm working with Rob to get like an unlock protocol integration. So the artists can not only mint their artwork, but they can also sell it through unlock protocol. I think that's the exciting part. I think it's something we need to think more in detail and understand what are our final positive things. Yeah, I agree with you. It's essentially saying like, I would like to work with him. I think it's the best option right now out there, the most technologically advanced one. If you have come across something better, of course, let's consider that too. But that's the best thing I have come across in a long time. And that seems to be like really looking out for the creator for a change. So yeah, I would essentially like to work with them. In return, we would give them, let's say, like 2 pages about him and the company. And then we could maybe add 2 more pages about like creators who build on their platform. So we can also wheel in a new group of creators that are yet not very in the known about the Alana project, I think. So it's like, yeah, what do you guys think? Does that sound okay as a general like idea?
That's a genius idea. I really love it. It makes the whole thing like super intentional, and I think it gives it like a whole new value. Like I love that. Love that. Love that.
Look at that, Nastaran. You were here with us. Thank you.
I am.
Okay, I also saw Elan kind of raising her hand. You want to add? Elan, are you here? Or maybe I just imagined her raising her hand. But okay, anyone else? Kava says, let's put ALANAmagazine Guria face up. I think this could be cool. We just need to make sure we're not, we're not doing something highly illegal, so we don't get into a bind later, right? But I think as long as it's fun and something that's easy to remove, so I imagine, for example, chalk spray, right? That could be something because it literally washes away with the next rain. So if we do something like this, right, I think no one can tell us anything, right? Because we're technically not destroying public items or anything. I guess my mic is not connecting. Shit. Okay, Alan, I will wait for you to type. Don't worry. I like it. I just want to be very intentional about the causes that we select. Of course, yeah, of course, makes sense. Again, I think we should have, like, on the activism part, we should have a very detailed discussion once we have submissions on these fashion editorials. I think for the accessories, should be a no-brainer, because if we have the 3D files for rendering, we may as well offer to put them in the AR and let creators monetize. So I think that is more of a no-brainer. But also, of course, it all matters on how well they get their development stuff together in the next few weeks and months. But I think for now it's looking pretty good. They have released some major updates already in the last 4 weeks. So if the next 2 weeks look the same way, I think we should definitely work with them. Maybe a cost could sustainable fashion and location is where fashion waste usually lands. That could be really cool, for example, because in a lot of cases it lands where it's just painful, honestly. It's just painful where it lands. I was this was about 5 years ago. I took a trip through the Peruvian Andes, a very beautiful road into Puno. So essentially all the road from from Arequipa, which is in the south, to Puno, which is Lake Titicaca. You might have heard about that lake. It's pretty famous because of its name. And well, guess what? On the way, you see landfills left and right? You don't see them if you just ride through it with the car. But if you're like me and you get out every few kilometers or so to take pictures because the earth colors are so amazing, right? This is when you climb over the next little hill and you see landfills. And it's very devastating. It's not how, and then, and then in the midst of it are precious vicuñas eating the trash. So yeah, not great, but yeah, I agree.
So you personally went and like saw the landfills in person?
Yeah.
How bad was it?
Sad.
Was it huge?
Just super sad.
Oh
Why do you
my.
think I went out of fashion? That happened around the same time because I realized that all of these millions of products we contribute to manufacture as designers, right? If we work for fast fashion, that is, and I was working for an agency who did fast fashion at the time, then we indirectly contribute to the shit, right? And this is why I got very depressed and needed to get out, which obviously was a good idea because look at us now. We wouldn't be here today if not for that major decision in my life. So I'm all good about it. But yeah, it just keeps continuing to be this way, right? Or the landfills in Senegal or the landfills in, you name it. It's always poor countries because literally rich countries pay poor countries so that they just accept all of that trash from us. There are in Maldives, when my husband was working in Maldives at the airport, obviously I traveled there a few times, and there are so-called Fushi Islands. So if you look at the map of Maldives, they're so-called Fushi Islands. And Fushi Islands are nothing else but trash islands. So these are islands filled with trash, right? Because guess what? Everyone on this island wants to drink Coca-Cola, okay? And they don't come in glass bottles to Maldives, let's just say, So yeah, you have this entire island states essentially that are just used for putting the trash. It's really bad. It's really terrible. But even in Peru, people love gaseosas. They have been trained to like gaseosas, so like Coca-Cola, Fanta, Sprite. They have been trained to like this stuff more than actual water, right? And even me, I mean, you see me every time I'm on a call with you, I nibble on a plastic bottle. Why is that? Because in all of Peru, there's just one brand that offers glass bottles. And those glass bottles are not being fucking recycled either. So if you want to drink water, you have no other choice because guess what? The water from the tap contains E. coli. And if someone like me drinks water with E. coli and wasn't trained by birth to stem that kind of bacteria, I have stomach infections like every 2 months, right? So that's the sad truth about emerging countries and the third world. Yeah. Anyways, that was fucking depressing. So let's move on to more exciting stuff, hopefully. So yeah, what I wanted to say is essentially I would like for us to use this in 2 weeks. Actually in 2 weeks, or is it this week? Let me just quickly check on this. No, I think it's in 2 weeks. I have a meeting with him to see like the new release with the new user interface and everything. So I will keep you guys posted, but essentially, like I would like to have an article on them in the founders and business section, because what they're really good at is actually marketing, and they do have a lot of creators already onboarded to the platform, right? Even though it's still in beta and still in staging. So I think, yeah, we can definitely also siphon off of this partnership. What else do we have? So this article exists. Julian Genesis. So the other thing is, because we use Unlock Protocol for everything, I would like us to be essentially, I would like us to be, how does this, what's the name? Eligible for a grant from Unlock Protocol. And I think by writing, in the business and founder section about the protocol, the founder, the DAO, I think, first of all, this is good for them, for sure. But also it is a really good tool for creators to use. So we're introducing them to a tool that they can use to monetize their work, to build their own Patreon on top of it, all of these things. So I think by writing about this, we make ourselves eligible for a grant from Unlock Protocol DAO. Not saying we're going to get it because it's retroactive. But yeah, we make ourselves eligible for a grant. And at the same time, we're introducing an open source and really solid tool to creators, to our audience, in fact. So I think that's something we should do. This is something that Grayscale suggested to work on. I still like this, the world of Web3 funding, introducing key players. So this could be artisan, of course, right? You guys know that I had been talking to the artisan founder about a special on them and projects that they have funded on them, and projects they funded. And I'm sure we can we can definitely get some monetary incentive from Renee for doing this, right? And again, expanding our own audience by doing that, because they already have artists and stuff on their platform that we can then wheel into Alana's world. So I think that's a good alignment. So this is essentially something that I would like to write, or would like someone here to write, or whatever. The blockchain as a natural safeguard against AI. I think you've seen this discussion all over the internet. AI is, essentially not very regulated right now, and companies just do as they please, make millions on top of scraping content that doesn't belong to them. I don't know if you saw this major article on the LibGen library. Have you seen this? Yeah, so there is is a well-known secret. So essentially any creative work that you can ever imagine that got any type of soft traction has been pirated and eventually released on a dark web library for data blocks. Okay, everyone knows about it. No one wants to talk about it. Okay, it's a big deal actually, and so it's really creepy. Yeah, it is. And so some, not so super famous artists and writers, they were like, oh, I would love to know if, I'm on there, right? But until recently, it didn't come with a regular user interface, right? But that has changed, and someone built that user interface, and now you can Google, right, if your work is on there. And they found out that their work is in fact on there, and it had been scraped, right? And the only real safeguard that we right now have is actually blockchain technology, because if content is protected by a token gate, for example, with Unlock Protocol, it means that only token holders can actually look at that content and potentially scrape it, right? And guess what? Bots can't do that, okay? Because it requires active transactions on blockchain level. So it means the bot needs to have a wallet, the bot needs to have a cryptocurrency that works for that, right? And it still needs to perform many transactions on chain, which they're not trained to do, right? So it is a major deal that this is happening. And just this week, the European Parliament has actually put forward a regulation against AI to protect citizens, right? Not yet to protect creators. So that's still something that needs to be put in place, but at least to protect citizens, right? So AI, for example, in the EU is not allowed to just collect data points of your political beliefs, of your race, your, whatever is considered personal data, right? Is not allowed to do that. So every company that breaches that rule will have to deal essentially in front of the law with the consequences, which I think is a really necessary and really, really good step because otherwise this gets out of hand because the greed of companies knows no end and they will do whatever to satisfy an endless need for greed. So
insatiable.
Insatiable, yeah, just like the
Trying
series,
to
right?
satisfy the insatiable, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I have high hopes that the EU will also lead to protect creators in these means. But they are the first ones to do this, actually. It's the first governmental unification about, hey, we actually need to regulate AI because they shouldn't be able to just do whatever they want because they're doing stuff that's highly illegal and also not very humane, right? And we don't want to destroy humanity just because we have a new toy to play with. So anyways, point of this article is essentially to just showcase how AI can protect creators and creative artwork, how blockchain can protect creators and creative artwork against the overlord of AI, and how people can, like creators can use tools that are AI powered by still keeping being in control over their IP and domain essentially. So that would be the idea of the article. If you guys have any idea who would be a great fit to write about this, please let me know. Right now, I'm in contact with someone that Ilya actually introduced me to. Her name is Becca, and she writes for Tech Radar about these kind of things. I'm just going to note her down. Becca, introduced by Ilya. Via LinkedIn. So I'm in contact with her, but if you also happen to have good ideas on that, please let me know. Does that sound okay?
Sounds great.
Yeah. But this is something I need help with. Okay. So Also, is anyone in here who wants to do an interview with Julian about Unlocked Protocol? Because I don't think I should do that because I know him too well. I will not ask the right questions anymore. And we also have a love and hate relationship. So no, he's great. Okay. I'm overstating, but sometimes we just naturally butt heads because I'm there for the community. He's there for the protocol. Right. So we naturally sometimes, headbutt. But I think it would be great if one of you wants to do a video interview with him. Be curious about what he does, why he founded the protocol, right? Just a fair warning, he's French, so he speaks well English, but because I think he's married to an American because he lives in New York. He's French. Always have that in your mind. I see Sogan typing. Does it mean Sogan wants to do an interview? We like to do that since we're trying to use it also for our project, but I don't know if we can enter this section. What do you mean, this section?
I think she means that we're not. No, I was listening
still
till I didn't want to stop her. No, because actually it was in our plan, but you know that our life a little bit changed with the natural disasters in life. And I'm also mixed that I'm gonna have another surgery, but anyway, we were planning to create a project, Stola, that we were working with unlock protocol, and also we wanted to have a call with you because we wanted to be in contact with them and talk about a little bit our project. But anyway, this aside, I don't know. This interview is going to be an article later. I think it's something interesting for us. I don't know. I talked also from NASA sport. But
Yeah, I was gonna say it as well. Like we can totally do it only if we can like have your help about like what kind of questions and how like twisted they can be or they cannot be, and like in what which direction we have to go with. But I think that's something any of us can do.
Yeah, perfect. I think that would be fabulous. I think you should do a video interview with him if you can. We can define the questions in advance. So you put down an initial draft of questions. And and then, I can write the article, or I can ask Astro if she wants to take this one, or maybe I can also ask Jessica or Shelvin. But I think if you guys would be able to do the video interview, I think it would be nice to just have someone who does not know everything about the protocol. And by now, I think I'm like 90% knowledgeable about the protocol, which means I'm not the best person to actually conduct this interview with him, because I will ask less curious questions, And I think, if it's like about him, I think make it something like, 30-40% like, business developer questions, right? Then maybe another 20% about like him personally, of course, so people can like relate to him, right? Because he keeps surprising me about things, and I think that's something I find very curious about this specific founder, which is actually two things inside of you here. Two things. One is that he keeps surprising me about having a lot of appreciation as a developer for visual optimization. So, for example, we did something really like basic last week. We put together a new a rules section in the Discord, right? And I created essentially branded emojis. Okay, so they are now like purplish and like in the colors of the brand. And he was so excited about it. He was so freaking excited about it. He said, like, can we all use them now? They're so pretty, right? And I was like, what's... Like, is this a different person I'm talking to?
I mean, it makes a huge difference. Like, it's such a little thing, but like it touches people's hearts in like the most unexplainable way possible. I mean, it works. I understand that.
It does, but have you ever seen a developer make a comment on stuff like this? I mean, I grew up...
They have hearts too.
They have hearts too, but they hide them very well usually, and so does he.
Well, yeah, that's a little bit of an
ability to have the beautiful things, maybe closely as much.
And the second thing is, I mean, he was the one, together with his colleague Chris, who brought me into the protocol, really pushing me to like bring like more harmony and structure to the Unlock protocol community, right? And most founders cannot do that because most founders have quite a bit of ego, and they will always think that they are the ones who have to solve this, right? So I think that's too all good, Raul. We are almost on top of the hour. Thank you for joining, and thank you for commenting on the other topics. If you have any other ideas for the content, please let me know. I think we should actually let me check. I think we should talk a few minutes longer if you guys are available. If not, then just with the people who are available, that's also fine. But yeah, okay. Anyways, those are the 2 points that I find quite fascinating about this person, because. And I have the last quote. It's on Alana email too. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Havo. I will check that in a bit. Adios, nas. Bye. Adios. He went into the starlight. Okay. So anyways, would be great if you guys could do that, and I can poke him and
One question.
Yes.
Can we also like ask questions about these stuff as well?
About what?
Like you mentioning that these are like his traits, and I was thinking it would be interesting for us to actually ask him, like, why does he care? Because I think the answers would be interesting.
I mean, if you think it makes sense for an interview, then I guess you can ask him. But this is more like insider information for you guys, why I find this particular founder like interesting, because I've worked with so many founders in the last few years, and a lot of them have their ego in their own way, especially if it's men, to be honest. It's very rarely that is not something in their way. So I found it very interesting that he doesn't let ego get in his way, at least not on the important parts, I feel. That's kind of unique about him. Yeah.
So you were saying 30-40% business development questions, 20% personal questions, and the rest should be like the possibility. We can also relate it to the creative work, that how
about the DAO, about the community, about the roadmap. I think, like essentially, think from your point of view, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What would you need to know about maybe this person, or maybe actually the community that he founded? Because he is not, if you want to build an unlocked protocol, right? He's not the one you should reach out to, right? You should reach out to me. You should go in the server. You should talk to people in the creators channel who have created stuff with Unlock and help you figure out how to do it yourself, because it's an open community. So maybe if we can convey that also in the article. So there's a profile on him because he started all of this, but I guess it should end with a call to action that says, you want to protect your content, then build with Unlock Protocol and join a community of creators and builders who already know how to do it. Does that make sense?
And how long does this interview have to be, more or less?
I think like if time, I guess 40 minutes. I think that's usually a good time frame. I would not drag it unnecessarily out. He is very busy. That's also another thing. But I think about 10, maximum 12 questions. I think that's the max. Yeah. So when you have the questions, send me questions. Let's talk about the questions. Let's optimize, and then we set up a meeting with him.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome, girls. Okay, that's really good. I love hearing that. So I have you guys on that one. Okay. So actually, Nastaran, Sogans, and Nastaran, interview. Recording, test if the recording shit works, right? Because we all know now it doesn't work all the time.
Definitely, yeah.
Article. Right. Okay, cool. We have that. Then I need to talk to Lutra about the educational article about airdrops and stuff like this. And then we had the idea of doing a profile on Jiquin Ju, who runs Metaverse Fashion Week. What do you guys think about that? You still think that's a good idea?
I didn't get it. You want to do an interview with her?
It's Isola on Telegram, and on LinkedIn, she's called Jiquin Ju.
Yeah. But I didn't understand, like, you want to do an interview with her?
Yeah, the original idea was to do an interview with her. I'm not sure if we should do it. I'm not sure.
I mean, it could be interesting. I don't know her that much, but what I know is that she expanded in so many different areas. So I think an interview might be interesting to have like a holistic view of what's happening with the Metaverse Fashion Conference and everything included. So why not?
Okay, so let's maybe think about how we can connect that potentially to a little bit of additional general information. So, for example, right, interviewing her, yes, but maybe let's make it a one-pager, right? And then maybe add information on, hey, what are current metaverse spaces to look out for? Or where would you want to go if you want to build your space, right? And maybe this is something that we can talk to sponsors about as well. Something like
that
this.
would be nice.
Yeah. Okay, so metaverse next. So profile on Isola and potential advertiser section for metaverse spaces. Okay, good. Noted that down. So Shelton and Jessica from working on the article. Again, I'm the bummer here. We actually, this is the community section. So power of women, a movement between art and social change. That is already done. Introducing the Alana product branches is something we need to do. So probably we can work on this one together between ourselves. I'm wondering if we should bring. I wonder if with the transition from Unlock Protocol becoming more and more decentralized, if we should actually put the article about Unlock Protocol into the community section over the business section, because we already have a lot of stuff in the business section. Maybe it would be nice to do that. So yes, we interview the founder, but we make it more about Unlock DAO.
That can work.
It's actually maybe better. That's my point. Because then we balance shit out a little bit more, you know? Okay, let me drag this down for now. Let's we can always fiddle around with this. Doesn't have to be a now decision. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess. Okay, let me put this into community. Okay. Sounds good. So then we have because I don't think we need more than 3 articles in that section. I think 3-4 articles are fine. Clear. What is this? Clear row. No, not clear row. Delete row. Delete row. Okay, cool. So like that, we have something that's a protocol. We have something that's an art movement. And we talk about us, and we talk about, of course, the international emergence of digital fashion. I wonder. So in the founders and business section, right? We have quite some good stuff to potentially help artists and creators to monetize their work and like give them essentially ideas on how to monetize their work, I guess. You know what? I'm moving this back. Never mind. I'm moving this back. That just has to go into founders and business. I'm sorry about this. Sorry, guys. Okay, moving this back. Never mind. Because it's about monetizing creators' artworks, right? So moving it back. Sorry. So I guess we're still fine on this delete row. It's so much better than last year. I wonder if we could maybe in the community section, I would really like to talk about a DAO, you know? I think that's so important, and that it's not just us, but I want someone that is big. So should we try and get like an ecosystem DAO on board? So I'm thinking Optimism DAO. I'm thinking Arbitrum DAO. I'm thinking, you know, like ecosystem, like big, like huge, right? That's an idea.
Yeah, I think that's good. And, you know, we should probably try to get them to pay.
Exactly my point. Arbitrum or Optimism DAO. So I think a very fundamentally well researched articles from a general to specific I think that would be good. And then applying for retro PGF, I think that is probably how we can make this work. But first of all, we tell our audience more about these type of constructs, right? But at the same time, we offer them a new space to emerge from. So I think that has at least big potential is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, putting this first. Okay. Actually, the world of Web3 funding, introducing key players, right? That could be already artisan, right? That could be Octant. That could be Givees, right? That could be Octant. Gitcoin, right? I think doing this gives us a lot of potential also for retroactive funding and getting like them to collaborate. And we have contacts to all of them, right? We have a direct content to Artisan. We have a direct content to Octant, with direct content to Giveeth, direct content to Gitcoin. So I think we should definitely exploit that. And I would suggest we put Grayscale on the hunt for that. Does that sound okay? Yeah. Because then we Nastaran and Sogan have gone through this experience. They actually got a grant from Octant, right, to do some animation work on their new funding mechanisms. So, yeah, I think it was a little bit like getting a foot in the door, exploring a new space. We still don't know where it leads, but at least there is one little success story in this. So if we can introduce that potential to more people in the creative space, I think that would be good.
That would be absolutely great, I think. And also, it's like a fashion magazine, so half fashion magazine. So also, like that community would just look into it, and that would be awesome.
Okay, so let's do that. Sounds good. Sorry, guys, I'm really trying to nail down our content so we know what we actually have to work on. But before we know, we'll never do this. Okay.
But
so
it's coming together.
Yeah, of course. We just need to put our minds together and shit is rolling, you know? Okay, so in the art design and metaverse section, right, this was always about essentially creating profiles on people that we admire or think are a great example of exceptional work. So we already have the interview with Chariot in there, right? Actually, this person never got back to me, which is a bummer. So I don't know if I should try. Maybe I can try one more time, actually. I may actually try this one more time today. If they don't get back to me, I'm going to delete them from here, yeah? I also really liked her work, but she also never got back to me. This guy I have a contact to, but I haven't contacted him yet. So this is something I can do. Do you guys have anyone else in mind for that section? Oh, wait, we haven't actually made a space for, we're so bad, Orchidea 3D, because Orchidea 3D,
yes.
right? Because actually she already filled, I think she filled Orchidea edition interview. Look at that, because she is a very good person to work with, because look at all of this. She already put everything in here. So
that's so great already.
Yes, she's awesome. So let's put that into the sheet as well. So this was my mode of contact. Oh, sorry, here actually. And then idea summary, article link. And so this one is essentially done. Putting this on green. The Chariot one is also done, so that's good. And let me add the Sorry, just some shifting work here. Okay, so we have that locked in. We have that locked in. So I think it would be nice to have someone from the game design section. I think that would be really great to have. I can show you what like this one looked like. I just really thought this was amazing work because this girl, she replicated the world of Sailor Moon in a game experience, and it looked amazing. Okay, this is an entire level designed after the idea of like a Sailor Moon essentially coming to the moon temple, right, on the moon. So I just thought this was just looking incredible. Okay, so when I came across this, I was like, I need to write this person. But yeah, she never got back to me. I can try again. I would see this beautiful. Can I play this game? Would love to test it out. She said she cannot publish it because she doesn't own the license to this, right? But she cannot publish it in the sense of monetizing the game, right? So it's like fan fiction. But it still shows off the abilities that she has so well. So I would still like to introduce her to our audience as a source of inspiration in game design. But yeah, like I had no way of reaching her. I don't know if one of you wants to try. I have to head out, but I updated our calendar invite from 22nd to mid. Yeah, thank you, Elan. I know. Okay, I also asked Christine about providing a higher resolution photo. I'll be near via Discord chat for further conversation. Thank you, Elan. Sorry, this is taking priority right now, but I'm looking forward to our next podcast. I do, because it's been too long again, thanks to Christine's delays. Yeah, so I don't know what you guys think. If you have other ideas or you've come across people who do incredible game design, I think it would be great if you could let me know, so I can try and reach out to these people. Have you come across anything like that?
She's really great. Should we try and reach her out again one last time?
Would you mind trying from your end?
We can totally do that.
Yeah, because I was not successful. Yeah, I can try again, but I tried, so I'm not sure if she blocked me already or shit like this. Also, don't know if she's just not a lot on, like maybe she's just not a lot on here.
That's also a possibility. Doesn't she have like the mail contact option on her profile?
No, she doesn't.
No.
I was just thinking maybe she's somewhere on TikTok. So like two objects that are the same shape. Confirm. I did it, guys. I did it. Okay, let me see if she's on here somewhere. Maybe she just uses another platform more frequently, I mean, I don't know, but maybe, Oh, okay, fine. Oh, God, guys, how much I hate this. You have no idea. Two-factor verification is a killer. Okay. Yeah, I don't think she's on here. Doesn't look like it either. Oh, she is. But she has almost no followers, so I want to claim, yeah, she's not on socials, essentially. I think that's the problem. I don't know if we should try and see if she's on LinkedIn.
I was going to say, because maybe we'll be able to reach her out by mail somehow through LinkedIn.
I couldn't find any mail type of content. Yeah, that's her. Okay. Yeah, and it's still pending.
Okay.
I requested.
No way.
She's an environment artist at Cold Symmetry. Yeah, but she's not on
Should we
social.
contact them?
Like, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I honestly, Nestaran, I put this in on. I think it's worth reaching out to. She might be on Twitter. Yeah, she might be on Twitter, but really, might she be on Twitter?
She
She
might
might
actually.
actually.
There are those kind of people, right? Who are like nowhere else, but for some reason they're on Twitter. I think I will never
Probably.
understand.
She
He
is
is
in the Ukraine. I don't know if she's affected by what's going on over there. Or...
Maybe.
Oh, that's a good point.
I mean, at least here she has more recent posts.
Mm.
So this is from 2nd of April. Like the other stuff is not there at all, right? I mean, it might be.
And her last post on Instagram, was it older? Than...
It's a lot older. Let me
Okay,
check.
Twitter it is.
So this is a pin post. So this was the last real post. It was 14 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So a long
Twitter.
time. Yeah, and Shelton was on point. I think the biggest following and the most like interaction she does have on Twitter. So I can try Twitter reach out.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
her work is really amazing. Yeah.
It is amazing. It should be shown, right? So like, and I find it very inspirational. And also, it's someone in game design who is female, which is still kind of hard to find, right? So yeah, I've been very eager for this one. So good. Okay, so we do that. If there's any other, I will reach out to Blankensmithing. I will reach out again to Artexio, and I will try and reach out to her. But I think this stuff is I don't even know. Let me check. Yeah, so let me see if this person is interested. I think I wrote to them, although let me check. No, I haven't yet. Okay, so I will do that. Oh, waiting messages. Okay, so I will do that too, and then essentially let me mark those in orangey, so I don't forget. But yeah, potentially we need to ask other people, of course. If those people don't get back to us, then, we also should stop like wasting time potentially is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we have all of that. That is in the plans. Okay, what are we going to do? And I promise this is going to be the last thing that I bother you guys with, and then we finish up next week. What are we going to do with the music and gaming section? So the reason why we have that, right, is because we honestly, we have the music and gaming section specifically because in the past that was something that Maximilian felt very excited about, specifically the music section, right? So my question comes essentially from that end as to I want to understand if we still want to keep doing that, because we have no one here that is like very into music. We have me who's very into gaming, so maybe we can do something about that. I don't know. But I guess my point is maybe this section could be potentially merged with the former section of art design and metaverse, because it fits in there.
That makes sense.
I mean, for some reason, I really like that there is like the music section, and I don't know why, but I am not sure how we're gonna fill it out. Like we're gonna need like some very specific information and people to interview and put in there. But maybe for the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So can you put this on your mind maps to just think about what we want to do with this section? I think that's the homework, essentially, the more general homework.
Okay.
Yeah, but otherwise, I think we're covered. We need to just do some more outreach. We need to nail people who, like Grayscale, that they actually do that work. And, you guys put together the sheet for the interview, right? So if we have these kind of basic elements in line, I think we can do pretty well. But yeah, only if we have that in line, let's just say. Does that make sense?
It does.
Thank you. Okay, so hereby I let you go. And Shelpin, if you can stick around for a few more minutes, that's possible for you. Let me know. But otherwise, have a great day, everyone. Okay, bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, Shelpin, what's up? I don't have a ton of time. I have like 6 minutes, but I figured I want to know what's been happening in your life. Yeah, I give you a sec. I'm back. Okay. What's up?
Hi.
All right.
Hi. What's up, Munchkin?
I'm
I'm
good.
good.
I'm
I'm
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Great
guess
season.
just struggling with finding a good job, right? Oh, wait. Also,
Yeah.